could Meghan Markle's claims of lies come back to bite her?
Gail, and another outrageous lie.
I just pathetically dumb.
Harry and Meghan's children will never be allowed to meet their royal relatives, while the question of surrogacy is still unanswered.
Harry and Meghan are in full meltdown after the royal family quietly confirmed the one thing they never wanted out, the truth about their kids. The palace didn't say much, but what they didn't deny says everything. From folding baby bumps to looming DNA tests, this isn't gossip anymore. It's a full-blown royal reckoning.
Well, I just think they made themselves look ridiculous with...
Harry and Meghan are in absolute panic. The palace has just confirmed the identity of their children, and behind the gates of Montecito, the walls are closing in fast. Sources close to the royals say legal teams are scrambling, crisis meetings are being held, and the truth they fought to bury for 5 years is finally clawing its way to the surface.
I want to ask the audience a question. Meghan Markle twerking with her baby bump with Prince Harry.
It all started unraveling when a woman, known only as DL, stepped out of the shadows. She's not a random troll or conspiracy theorist. She claims to be the real biological mother of both Archie and Lilibet, and she's come armed with hospital records, surrogacy contracts, and NDA documents. She's not whispering, she's ready to testify, even willing to submit to a DNA test. That offer alone sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace, because if DL's story is true, 2 children in the royal line of succession may have been illegally and secretly brought in.
I think they're completely taking us for a ride, but they are right that if we stop rolling out the red carpet, maybe if...
Let's break this down. Meghan announced her first pregnancy in October 2018, but from the start, something felt off. Her baby bump seemed to grow and shrink by the day. On February 25th, 2019, during her Morocco trip, Meghan told a local she was 6 months pregnant. But just 3 weeks earlier, on a different trip, she had said she was 5. The math didn't add up.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's been an extraordinary week for Meghan.
For years, people were mocked for bringing it up. But now, DL's testimony makes that footage look less like a conspiracy and more like evidence.
Years ago, just before the birth of Lilibet.
And what are the claims of DL? She says she was brought into a private surrogacy arrangement through a California agency in early 2018. She was promised strict confidentiality and hidden away in a fully staffed residence near Los Angeles. No phone, no visitors, weekly doctor visits, everything handled in secret. She says she carried both pregnancies, Archie in 2019, Lilibet in 2021, under the agreement that she'd never be named or acknowledged. But here's the twist. After Lilibet's birth, DL says she was ghosted. No contact, no payment, no photos, nothing. She was simply erased.
They began to do things which appeared to be very hypocritical.
And the timeline backs her up. There were no hospital exit photos after Archie's birth, which broke royal tradition. No crowd of reporters outside a maternity wing. Instead, Harry awkwardly stood in front of a horse stable to announce his son's birth. Meghan appeared 2 days later looking shockingly slim, smiling and flawless. The world chalked it up to bouncing back, but now it reads like damage control.
The French think they've let us down very, very badly. And
even stranger, when Archie's birth certificate was released, Meghan's full legal name, Rachel Meghan Markle, was suddenly removed, replaced by her royal title. The palace claimed it was just formatting. Meghan blamed the royals, but legal experts are now saying this may have been a calculated move to avoid future lawsuits, because if she didn't give birth, having her name on that form could be fraudulent.
Kinsey, was just before this.
Let's talk about that post-birth glow. You know the one. Meghan walked out 2 days after Archie's birth in a crisp white dress and heels, looking like she just stepped off a magazine cover, not a delivery bed. Her belly, barely there. Her skin, glowing. And her hair, full volume. She looked like she just wrapped a Vogue shoot. The internet went nuts. Some called it genetics. Others whispered, surrogate. But that's just the start.
The Rwanda scheme, it seems, was cruelly abandoned. We know it was impetuously.
Unlike every royal mom before her, Diana, Kate, even Fergie, there was no hospital footage, no step out from the Lindo wing, no flashing cameras outside St. Mary's, zero traditional protocol. Instead, we got a weirdly private, oddly stiff appearance days later. And in a barn, no less. No press briefing, no name confirmation in front of the royal gates. Just Harry awkwardly saying, "We had a baby," like he just adopted a puppy. And here's where things really start to feel orchestrated.
Because I'm a baby mama, I can do just what I want to turn up.
If she a baby mama, she gon' do that baby mama.
Work.
She gon' put it on you.
I like that.
They're recording this. They are doing a lot of mass recording themselves.
Insiders now say a lot of Meghan's maternity content was pre-filmed. That's right. Staged, scripted, and scheduled. Photo ops were reportedly organized down to the second, with handlers reviewing every angle, making sure lighting, bump size, and Meghan's smile all aligned. One former stylist, speaking under strict anonymity, said, quote, "Not everything was as it seemed. We were told not to ask questions, just to follow the plan." That plan apparently didn't include authenticity.
She must make a fortune out of those, because people are interested and intrigued by her. There's no doubt about that. But do you agree with...
Every public appearance felt controlled. The bump appeared, disappeared, then came back fuller than ever, sometimes in the same week, and still photos from different days, same outfit, different bump shape. It wasn't a conspiracy anymore. It was a production. Meghan wasn't just playing the role of Duchess. She was acting as the pregnant Duchess. And where was Harry in all this?
Yeah, so it's one sentence he writes in Spare about how the day, as they're getting ready for Lily to be born, they stuff their faces, they do a dance.
According to DL, he was deeply involved. She claims he visited her once during her pregnancy, just one time. He thanked her in person, left a handwritten note, and promised discretion. No fanfare, no royal entourage. Just him showing a bit of charm, then disappearing.
I mean, honestly, I'm exhausted.
But now people are asking, did he know everything? Because if he did, and if he helped cover it up, we're no longer talking about awkward PR. We're talking about constitutional fraud. This isn't just a scandal, it's a potential royal crime.
Down temporarily over, although meltdown's still very much going on.
Insiders say Harry's been breaking down behind the scenes. He's allegedly been snapping at staff, pulling away from longtime friends, and spiraling under pressure. One royal aide even claimed Harry begged Meghan to come clean. "Just admit it," he supposedly pleaded, but she shut it down. Her reason? If the truth gets out, it's over. And maybe she's right.
Two of them are so inept and so unqualified for what they're doing.
Because DL isn't just talking. She's coming in guns blazing. She says she's willing to do what Meghan and Harry never expected. A full DNA test. That's right. The one thing no one thought she'd actually offer. And now, everything's on the table. DL claims she saved everything. We're talking medical records, hospital scans, surrogacy contracts, doctor bills, and even NDA documents from the agency that arranged it all. And now, her legal team is gearing up for war. There's talk of televised depositions, lawsuit filings, and potential breach of contract cases. DL says, "They thought I'd stay quiet forever. They were wrong."
The longer we are on planet Earth, the more experience we have.
If the DNA test comes back and proves she's the biological mother, then Archie and Lilibet's status as royal heirs is on the line, because under UK law, only children born of the body of a royal mother are eligible for succession rights. Surrogacy isn't automatically recognized. In short, if DL's telling the truth, those kids are technically not in line for the throne. And the palace? Frozen. No press statements, no denials, no rebuttals. Just a cold, eerie silence that's now raising even more questions.
Buckingham Palace has announced Prince Harry and Meghan will no longer be working members of the royal family. The pair will lose their Royal Highness titles.
but behind closed doors, it's chaos. Constitutional lawyers have been called in. Emergency sessions are reportedly happening at Sandringham. Advisors are scrambling through royal precedent, trying to figure out how to legally distance the monarchy from any fallout. There's even quiet talk about stripping Archie and Lilibet's HRH titles, not out of spite, out of legal necessity. One senior aide reportedly said, "The monarchy cannot be seen legitimizing a lie." And they're right. This isn't about drama anymore. It's about the survival of royal credibility. So as DL prepares her legal war chest and Harry and Meghan sit silently in Montecito, the rest of the world is watching, not with curiosity, but with suspicion.
Touch, especially while the late Queen was alive. Gaga Goose says,
Now here's the part that makes this go from scandalous to deeply heartbreaking. The children, Archie and Lilibet, 2 innocent kids born into a royal tornado. And here's the kicker. Under UK law, children born via surrogacy aren't automatically entitled to royal titles unless it's publicly disclosed and legally verified. That never happened. Not with Archie, not with Lilibet.
Well, Meghan and Harry have themselves to blame for the speculation that has arisen as a result of their conduct and the mucking around that they have done.
Royal historians are saying this is completely unprecedented. There's no roadmap for this. If the allegations are proven true, it could trigger a full constitutional review of who can own Fred and who can't need and inherit royal privileges. But strip away the titles and DNA tests, and you're left with 2 kids. Kids who are now caught in the fallout of a very adult deception. And that's what makes this story more than just gossip. It's tragedy wrapped in tiaras. At the center of this firestorm is one chilling truth. This isn't about rumors anymore. It's about identity, legality, and betrayal at the highest levels. If you've come this far, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.